asked my followers on bluesky to comment on a let's make an OC prompt, and what they came up with was pretty interesting. Hey peeps, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Volt, creator of the Alchemist Collective webcomic, and today I'm drawing a character based on this OC prompt meme, where my followers each make a comment for a feature for this new character. So here are the comments, and let's get started. So while I'm drawing this, I wanted to share my experience on bluesky as an artist so far. Any of this at any moment could change, and as you know, I'm very reluctant to talk about social media on YouTube because social media changes so fast. So whatever I say time of recording might change like a month from now, or maybe even 2 years from now. So take this with a grain of salt. And if you see this video in the future, hi, hello, sorry that it changed, sorry that it got shitified, I don't know where else we'll be. Follow me on YouTube. So I wanted to talk about first the good. There's no central algorithm, which is one of the reasons so many people left Twitter in droves in October. I think that a lot of artists especially got fed up with all the bots, all the AI, all the scammers, all the political drama, all the political shit, you know, like we all got fed up. I'm saying they, but I mean we, because I got tired of it too, and I stopped posting after they released their AI scraping thing on there, and I just never went back. So, and I wasn't really using it to begin with, and every time I posted, nobody would say anything because all my posts would get throttled. So I just stopped posting there altogether, and I went over to bluesky during the great exodus, if you will. But the other thing about it that's good is that you can really create specific feeds for your specific subjects, like hobbies or like birds or specific types of art. You can also curate what you don't want to see, so you can mute tags, you can mute accounts and words and hide posts if you don't want to see certain posts, which I really like. I like to be able to curate my experience. It takes a little bit to set up and a little bit to navigate, and I'm not going to tell you how to do that because this is not a bluesky tutorial video, but just know that you can really tailor your experience on bluesky, which is great. It's not a perfect system. Some things will slip through the cracks. You're going to get people who reblock things you don't like, but in that, I will say that it's a lot better in Twitter, and that it's not putting things in your face that you don't want to see constantly, regardless of whether or not you blocked it. So the other thing I want to talk about is account growth. And while I don't tend to like talking about this as much because I myself don't like turning social media into a numbers thing because it's unhealthy for my brain, I can't deny that it's probably the fastest I've grown on any of my accounts on any platform. I think timing had a lot to do with it though, because I did start back posting in October when everybody was moving and getting excited and being like settling into their accounts and sharing everything. So my visibility in general though is also a lot better. So like that's kind of good. And I'm going to talk more about that in later on in the video, in the artist tips for bluesky section. But before I do that, I wanted to talk about the not so great. So the biggest thing for me is privacy. Your account isn't private, you can't set it to private, and you will probably, based on what bluesky has said, you will probably never ever be able to do that. Unfortunately, this is by design because I think bluesky is trying to develop a sort of open network protocol where you could possibly move your account to different sites on that protocol, similar to Mastodon, if you're familiar with Mastodon, but simpler in concept. I think time of recording this feature is still in development, and because your account isn't private, neither are your blocked users. Yeah, anyone like me or you could go to a specific site right now and check to see who blocked who. I'm not going to give away what that website is, but it's supposedly necessary so your block list moves with you if you move accounts or you move sites. You move your account to different sites. It's just so much. You can mute users though, and that's private, and your likes are also private. But I don't think I like the idea of not being able to private an account at any given moment for safety purposes. And I think that this can also lead to kind of harassment campaigns on social media. I think it's already happened in a few instances, but your privacy, you're not, anything that you put on the internet with some effort can be rendered public if you're not careful. But as an aside, I just wanted to say that internet safety and privacy is in the can right now, and a lot of people do not take care about what they share and what they post on social media, and they don't know who's watching, and you don't know who's going to keep that for future reference or anything like that. So I just urge you, as an aside, to be safe online, especially when your accounts could just be like followed by people who don't have your best interest in mind. And that's the biggest thing for me. But the next thing that is kind of a not so great, or actually it's a terrible, is that bluesky just allows AI and scrapers. And this is kind of a difficult thing to staunch anyway. It's kind of hard to not have AI on the site, but at this point, I don't think I even really need to explain why this is bad, especially for artists. So post at your own risk and do what you need to protect your art. You know, glaze, nightshade. Please don't post in full resolution your art. Don't do that. That's not great. Like, watermark your stuff if you need to. Just, you know, this is always a post at your own risk type of thing. The last thing that I want to talk about is future enshittification. So as with any social media you join, it seems good at first, but since this is still a venture capital funded project, the possibility is always looming that the platform could change at any moment in the interest of their investors, of making their money back. At this, I always say to have a backup plan, because I'm a little cynical at this point and have been around the block long enough to recognize when things start taking a turn. So have alternative things, like preferably a newsletter, and or even more preferably your own website, so that you can have everything in one place and you don't lose it, or you don't get it like taken down at any given moment, because these platforms can be really unpredictable. And I said this earlier in the video, is that time of recording, bluesky is a pretty decent place to be. I'm just here while the getting is good. I want to be able to keep in touch with my friends though. So, you know, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm not trying to take this too seriously. Do not, please guys, please don't take bluesky too seriously. It is wholly unserious, like trying to quote unquote grow or make it a doing numbers thing. Like, don't like, just have fun there, okay? Like, just chill. Chill. Like, this doesn't have to be like last time where everybody's scrambling for like crumbs or scrambling for clients or whatever. Just like, let it be something that is like a little bit more organic, because I just think that the way that social media has been conducting us has been wholly unhealthy, and I'd like there to be a change in this hustle culture feeling that we've been experiencing for the past nigh on 5 years, and I'd like it to end. So that was just, I'm gonna get off my soapbox and give you tips and advice for artists on bluesky. My first tip would be to join an art share if you have the energy, but especially if you have OCs, because I find that OCs thrive on bluesky, and I draw nothing but OCs because I have a webcomic. But make sure that you follow any instructions on the original posts, like that might be like and comment on others' posts, or share the post itself and share your own work. So this is why I say, if you have the energy, you do not need to join every single art share that you see. Like, just post the ones that you're really feeling, you know. Some are more relaxed, like, oh, if you see an elf, post an elf. If you see this, post that. You know, it's like just real quick, you know. You don't have to like do too many other things. You don't have to like get too involved in it if it's like a more laid back art share. It's like an art chain. But I would say only do like the art shares if you have the energy to do it. Don't ever feel obligated like you have to. Just do it because you enjoy it. Like I said, unserious, unbothered, have fun. The next tip I have is to use hashtags. So time of recording, they actually work. You can also come up with hashtags specific to your, like, say, character or project, and put it in your bio. Then if someone goes and clicks on that hashtag, which is, when I mean click, I mean right click on desktop, long press on mobile app, it'll give you the option to call up all instances of that hashtag from that user. So for example, I have the Alchemist Collective, and here are all the posts I used with hashtag the Alchemist Collective. So that's pretty cool, right? It's like indexing your page, and I think that's kind of a thoughtful design. My next tip would be to join specific starter packs. Now, I know during the great exodus of Twitter, these were everywhere, but if you see any that match what you like to draw or make, if there's a space, you can always ask the one who made the list to join it. So if you see something like, I'm a part of a lot of webcomic specific starter packs, and I know that this was really big like I said, really like, I don't see them as much as anymore because activity I think is starting to level out on Blue Sky, unless we have another exodus from another social media. But like, these starter packs were a way for people to find each other or find new artists and follow each other in those starter packs. And even, you know, people who like to read webcomics or like to look at art could go through specific genres. Like if you like romantic fantasy authors, there's a starter pack for that, and you could go in and see who the authors are, and if you like their work you can follow them, and you don't have to follow everybody in the starter pack, just the people that like interest you. And so I'm a part of a couple of webcomic ones, like fantasy webcomics and webcomics volume 3 or something like that. You know, like, just talk to the person who runs the list and see if there's any space in there, and even if there's not, you can always find another list. You don't have to join every list of starter pack or anything like that. But that's just another way to like get active in the community on Blue Sky. And my last tip is, of course, comment and reblog. Talk to others, reblog others people's work, let others know that you like their work, and share often. It's how work spreads on this site, usually through reposts and reblogs. I say reblogs like I'm on Tumblr, but repost sounds weird because I feel like repost has a bad connotation of taking somebody's post without attribution. So I'm just used to saying reblog. But it's Blue Sky is not really unless you want it to be, because Blue Sky, you can use Blue Sky however you want, but it's not really that great of a function as a gallery type of place. If you want a gallery, I would suggest you make your own site or get on one of those art gallery sites that just showcase your work. But this is more of a dynamic, social sort of place to be. So talking to other people really, like, you form a bond in the community, and that let like you just be helpful. You can find other helpful people, and it's just great to talk to other people and just like, you know, find things in common with others, commiserate in the struggle, if you will, let people know your thoughts and interests. So that's what's great about Blue Sky. And the other thing that I wanted to mention too is that I don't ever feel pressured to post a certain amount or in a certain way. Like, as of right now, I haven't posted any art for like a week on Blue Sky, but I don't feel like I'm behind. I don't feel like, oh no, if I don't post something people will forget me, etc., etc. I don't ever feel like that because there's no algorithm and there's no punishment for not being active on there, time of recording. But if you're on the fence about using it, I would say at least give it a try. You have nothing to lose, and if it isn't for you, that's okay. You know, there's not this whole FOMO thing like they make you feel like on Instagram or Twitter or anything like that. I personally, microblogging like this, like the Twitter format, isn't my favorite way to showcase my work or even share my work, but it is a very good way to keep up with people that you like and keep up with friends that you don't want to lose touch with, although I would suggest figuring out a way to stay in touch with them in other ways, like maybe a Discord or something. But yeah, that's kind of my tips for artists on Blue Sky. Do share your work. Don't be afraid to reblog your work as well. Don't be afraid to like do reposts every so often. Not too often that it's like obnoxious or anything, but like if you posted something on one day and then like a couple of days later you wanted to like repost that post, you can do that, and people who hadn't seen it before have another chance to see it now, and there's no like connotation of like, oh, you spammed because you reblogged a thing more than once, you know. So don't worry about that kind of thing. There's kind of a better behavior right now on Blue Sky that I hadn't seen on Twitter in a very long time, so I do encourage you to at least give it a try for like maybe a month and see how that works for you. But yeah, and she's done. I will admit, the different colors people commented almost threw me off, but I think I made it work. I really enjoy her braids, and I like her outfit as well. I ended up naming her Aria, but yeah, like it just came to me. Like, I actually stream this on Twitch, so if you guys want to catch me on Twitch, you can follow me there. Links in the description. I try to go live like twice a week, although in January that might not be the case because I'll be out of town. So if you guys are interested in another OC prompt, but for specifically YouTube, do let me know and I can make a community post and each of you can comment a different detail that can be made into a character, because I like making characters and I enjoy like sharing that process with you guys. So be sure to follow me on Bluesky or anywhere else you might find me. Do you have a Bluesky? What do you think of it? What's been your experience so far? Let me know in the comments below and subscribe if you want to see more videos. I don't know how many other times I'm going to be talking about social media. Like I said, I don't know if this video will suspiciously blow up because I talked about social media, but just stick around for future videos and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.